Now at noon, a live look from Cobb County at the Sheriff's Department, where the law enforcement agency is down 2 beloved deputies after they were killed last night in the line of duty. Right now, there are 2 suspects who are in custody. CBS 46 is still working to learn more details about them, but the grief at this hour, as you might imagine, is overwhelming. Rebecca Schramm begins our live team coverage this noon. She's live at the scene in unincorporated Cobb County between Marietta and Powder Springs. And Rebecca, the deputies were killed while they were trying to serve a warrant in what appears to be a pretty nice neighborhood.
And after that, Gavir, SWAT officers descended upon this neighborhood, specifically this home where deputies were shot and killed right here on the front lawn. You can see from the damage, SWAT members meant business when they burst into the home through just about every window and door, probably simultaneously, to get the suspects into custody. We spoke with a handyman who says the people who live here are his clients. He was just here hours before the shooting. There's a woman who owns the home and signs his checks. He says her adult son and another man had been living here.
Probably once every couple of weeks they'll call me and say, hey, I got another list of stuff.
Handyman Jack Freeman says he recognized the street name when he saw in the news that 2 deputies had been killed serving a warrant on Hampton Glen Court. When he arrived this morning to do more work, he couldn't believe it was this house.
They were just as nice as they could be. They get me water.
But you never would have thought.
No, I had, and I know people. I work in this business. I have to, when I go to somebody's house, I got to guess, are they, is somebody I want to work for.
Authorities tell us deputies were trying to serve a warrant at the home for someone who failed to appear in court on a theft by deception charge. No one answered a knock at the door. As deputies were returning to their patrol car, someone started shooting.
You know what? You never know. Sometimes what goes on behind closed doors.
Vince Pinson lives around the corner. He says a neighbor told him and his wife she was walking past the house moments before the gunfire.
The policemen who were serving the warrants were outside of their cars, and they told her before anything started, you need to go home. And so there must have been a premonition in their minds that something wasn't right about this.
When he first saw the house in daylight with all the damage from where SWAT made entry, all he could do was pray.
When you lose 2 servants, like we lost last night, and just unnecessarily, makes you pause, makes you realize that God gives us every day as a gift, and we need to embrace that.
And taking a live look, you might be able to see the tracks in the front yard where those SWAT equipment, the SWAT vehicles were. The whole thing seems just surreal to people who live here in the Hampton Glen subdivision. Several told us their hearts are heavy today. Reporting live near Marietta, Rebecca Schramm, CBS 46 News.
Rebecca, no word or no sight of the woman that lives in that home?
No, haven't heard much about her at all. In fact, it doesn't appear that anybody else was in the home besides the 2 suspects. So that's certainly something we're looking into.
All right, Rebecca, thanks so much. Now, the 2 people responsible for that killing are in custody right now at the Cobb County Jail. That's where CBS 46's Rachel Aragon is this afternoon as she continues our team coverage. Rachel.
Yeah, those 2 suspects again taken right here at the Cobb County Jail. But during that early morning emotional press conference, we heard from the county sheriff, who again was asking for prayers, and ended that press conference with a call to action.
This video from late last night showing friends and family of the deputies gathering at Keneston Hospital to pay their respects to the 2 deputies. County Sheriff Craig Owens says this is the first line of duty death in Cobb County since he took office 18 months ago. Both of the fallen deputies had been with the agency for more than 5 years. Law enforcement from across the state coming together last night to show their support.
It's going to take some prayers to help us get back to where we need to be. And because of the people you see behind me today, I think we'll be able to overcome that, but it's not going to be an easy road.
Sheriff Craig Owens says last night's shooting shows more action needs to be taken across the country to protect everyone, from residents to first responders.
We need to do something, ladies and gentlemen, about this guns on the street. So whatever we can do to prevent gun violence, as you can see, is affecting us here in Cobb, is affecting everyone across the United States of America. We definitely need to do something regarding that.
And during that early morning press conference, it was the county sheriff who said it is now the Cobb County Police Department that will be investigating the shooting going forward. For Live in Marietta, Rachel Aragon, CBS 46 News.
Rachel, thanks. And support, as you would imagine, is pouring in from departments across Georgia, Paulding County, Smyrna, Duluth, the GBI, all taking to social media to express their sadness for the loss of those two deputies. And Governor Kemp released this statement, saying in part, "Marty, the girls and I were deeply saddened to learn of the killing of these two deputies. Men and women like them bravely serve our communities every day, and we owe them a great debt of gratitude." The statement goes on to say, please join us in praying for their families and fellow law enforcement officers. And as we get closer to the end of 2022, sadly, the number of officers killed in the line of duty this year is growing. Now that number's up to 8. The men you see on your screen right now lost their lives while serving their communities. Again, we are working right now to learn the names of the deputies who lost their lives last night.